Okay, in this video, make sure that you have your paintbrush here, your sets of watercolors there, and we're going to get started. You should only have a teeny bit of water. So I'm going to show you the amount of water that I'm going to just use here. It's just going to be a teeny bit of water. Just like that. That little swell of water is the amount of water that I have there. And then you're just going to dip your brush gently into the water. And then we're going to create a landscape. Okay? So first we're going to have our water. Just going to gently touch this here, this blue. I'm going to separate where the land is going to meet the sky. Like so. And there's going to be a mountainous area at the back. I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush. See if I can show you me cleaning my brush here. Just like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of sky over here at the top. You really want to let the paint just move across the page. Just like so. You don't have to have a lot of water, just a little bit of water to do your painting, to get the feel of the sky, and so that your painting becomes three-dimensional, not two-dimensional. And so you see there's a little bit of water there, but the color is still there in the painting. It's just a soft blue, just like so, at the background. You can continue to move the color around by adding a little bit of water. And so now let's go ahead and add in the sand. The sand is just a little bit of brown, not a lot, a little bit. I need you to see me add this little bit of brown down here, right over here. Put a little bit of brown here. And these are the mountains. All right, and then the grass comes over the mountains here at the top. We had a little bit of this right here. And so this is going to be like a hill, a mountainous hill over here. And you can just add your color in with a little dab of the brush. You don't have to bend the brush on the paper like this. You should never have your paintbrush bent. That's not what you want to do. Just want to gently touch your brush and bring that color across the paper. And every stroke brings character to the piece. Just like that. And I'm going to add a little bit of green because there's some grass on this hill, like shrubs at the top of the hill. And right over here as well, there's some grass that has started to grow out inside of the sand. Okay. Now let's go in with some, show you here. I'm going to clean my brush and then mix out this yellow and brown to see if I can get like a tan color for sand. Try to get a sand color. It really should be a watered down brown. There we go. See, the watered down brown looks like the sandy color of the beach. See, with a watercolor, a little bit of color goes a long way. You just add a little bit on your brush and then you add water and the color just spreads. Almost like fire. And that's how you just smooth it right across the page. It's not like acrylic or oil where you need to add a lot of medium to move it across the page. It's just a little bit and then it stretches. Stretches all the way across the page here. And so now you can see how it has moved so far. And even old colors that were sitting here at the top now have blended into my sand. And you can see that blending there. And see how the color just moves in the water? You don't have to do much at all with watercolor. And the picture has a lot of emphasis, a lot of emotion and depth to it, just because a little bit of dab of water. All right, now let's go ahead and we're going to shift over So once what happens with the sand meets the water, we're going to leave that color alone. I'm going to add in our blues right over here. And see, that's too powerful already. You can see how bold that is. We're not trying to do bold lines. So I'm going to wet the brush, add some water, and then watch it spread. Because I really want to get some waves and make motion in the picture. So I'm just going to slowly do like this. Look at that. Wow. This is a beach I'd want to go to or see some scenery here. Dang, this is nice. Alright, water. Just spread it with water. Right over here. Just like so. And I'm going to add this whisked away grass. And then that'll be it. But this grass has a lot of movement. I guess where the wind has blown it around. So it has some darker areas in it and some lighter areas. Right here, the darker areas. You can always put down like a soft green with the water here and then go in and add your darker areas. So I'll go ahead and put in water here and then go back in and add the darker areas. Okay, watch now. Just a tad bit of paint. Gently tapping the paint. And then I'm going to add in this detail here. Okay, that's your stuff right there. And there you go. You got your greens, all your other colors. And there it is. Just like that. And now you have texture on this land that's right here. And you can go back in and add some more texture up here as well. And use the bristles of your brush to do that. This is the only time you're going to really be bending your brush, but this is to give you that texture inside. Okay? Just like that. Texture, texture, texture. Alright? And this top line right here, this top line should really just be a brown top line right here. Right there. And then the contrast is, so I'm getting rid of this blue here. The contrast is more of a whiter, sandier area right under it. And the area here has some wispy grass, just like so. And I think I need to change where my water is. The water should come out from the side here, all the way up here. So I'm going to clean my brush, and then I'm going to add that water over there. Okay, this water here is going to come all the way out here, up here, and then meet over here. So all of this is the beach. I had it broken off a little wrong here. Yeah, all of this here is the beach. All of this here, like so. You can really get some dark colors in with watercolor. Really, really dark colors. But that's just for accented purposes. I like to show you the water is deeper out here. So that's where you're going to have this dark, dark water coming in closer. Right over here and here. Like this. Get some water to move that blue all the way out here. There we go. Those are the depths of the water. I love the way this paint is moving across this picture. You really get a good idea of, oh, look at that. Spread it across that brown, like so. There it is. There it is. And then here should be more white, but I didn't have white right in here. I have it blue, but I can kind of stretch some of it to get rid of all that blue. But this is where the land is right here. And I do want to add some more blue to the sky up here. Like, these are some clouds. I have it dark here, but let me add some more dark, dark, dark blue. And some water. Okay. Stretch it out. You can just let a color dry if you feel like it's not what you want it to be. Oh, look at this. I'm stretching it. Giving it that soft, airy look. It's a soft look, gentle stretch. Where it's just in the sky, but it is stretched. I'm using my water to stretch that. So the atmosphere is created. I love it. It's not too hard, not too soft, but right over here on the edges of the paper, this side and this side, really show how the sky is darker on those areas, and then it just comes on in. So water, 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 spreading that sky. There it is. Spreading the sky. Oh, I love that. And once it dries again, you're going to see how that atmosphere is is there. So not many pieces on the paper are white, because what I did is that I made sure that I wet the page and just added that color in. And then that's just like how it is here with my water. Coming off over here in these different areas, giving me texture. Now I left the water down here. I forgot though, there was water down here at the bottom of the paper. Gotta include that. Down here, there is water. Just like so. Now, let me give you a whole picture view of what I have done here. Uh-oh, there we go. Let's see. So this is the watercolor. It still needs some work, but this is just a quick tutorial in how to do the watercolor. You know, how to get your feet wet, so to speak, with your palette. Making sure it's, you know, what it should be. You know, wetting your paintbrush, spending some time bringing in these lines right over here where the sun meets the sky. Not the sky, but the air, or the sky meets the land. Sky meeting the land. This is the sky here. Let me add in a little bit of, let me see on this black here. There we go. Okay. That just gives it a little bit of character. The tip of my brush gives this life right over here. And remember, you can always come back in and say, you know what, I have a pen or I have a pencil and I want to add in some definitive lines. You can always do that with a pen or a pencil or a marker. Like I can take a green Sharpie marker and I can say, you know what, I don't really like the way that this turned out. I want to add in some really fine point grass. I can just add that grass in just like this, right on my piece. And that adds this, I don't know if you can see this here. So you see the Sharpie marker just added these pieces of grass that are whisked off into the wind. And if I want to say, oh, you know, let me just go ahead and change my water, I can get a blue Sharpie marker and add some texture in with my water as well. So I can get this Sharpie marker and then just go ahead and, let me show you. I'm gonna add some blue in that I felt like I wasn't able to get in with my watercolor to really darken this area in over here. That's what you can do. Just like so. And then once the picture dries all the more, you can even add in more color to your piece if you didn't get it in with your watercolor as is. And then you can even add in some really, really black areas. I'll get a black Sharpie marker here. Let me see if I can open it first. All right, and so right over here, bring the camera down, I can go ahead and outline this. That's what I love about watercolor. It gives you the format that you're looking for, the colors you want. And then if you feel like there's something more, get a marker and just add it in. It really brings life to the picture. Really, really brings life. Takes it from the 2D and makes it more 3D. I mean, I could spend hours just adding in additive color with a Sharpie marker. But this is paper that's not even watercolor paper, but I still wanted you to see what you could do. Look at the texture here. This is texture because it looks like there's grass, there's, you know, maybe a raised area up versus a flat area. Like there's some depth to it. Here you look like you can walk up this hill with this grass here, and then this looks like this goes off into the distance. If I wanted to add more to the sand, just go ahead and add some water to my paintbrush. You can't see me there. Here's some water on my paintbrush. And I'm going to go back over here to the brown. Go a little bit more on the paint side. And then, oh, I have a Sharpie under here. I can't paint with a Sharpie under there. I'm going to just darken. See this line is dark right here? I'm going to say, let me go ahead and extend this back. And then bring it around just like that. Now I feel like add a little more. Look, I can stretch it. You see that? So I've stretched it further back. More depth to the picture. Not a 2D, but a 3D. Because of the way we work with our darks and our lights. Stretching the piece. Pulling our dark colors in. Watch that. I'm going to go back in again. And that gives me some depth to my beach. Just like that. Now there's different levels of the beach. You have your beginning area by the water, and then you go backwards. Some will even say, hey, you can even darken a gray area right around in here by where the water meets up with the sand. Let me try that as well. All right, I'm going to go in here and I still have some brown on my brush. I'm going to darken a line just like right here. And I want it to be a little bit lighter. It's no shame in saying, you know what, that was too dark. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the brush to get rid of some of it, to push it back. And then I can just use a paper towel to even whiten it. To blot it away. So watercolor is vast. Make sure you explore how vast it is. There's so much for you to explore and create and do with watercolor. But enjoy your watercolor painting. Happy painting. I'll put it close so you can see the final ending there.